Yeah, I'm supposed to either like hate The Last Jedi or love it. I don't really feel either way about it. It was an okay movie. I didn't hate it as much as I hated The Force Awakens. It did not. It was not infested with J.J. Abrams' brand of storytelling, which involves stealing from earlier movies and misrepresenting it as an homage, infesting your movie with nonsensical things that can never come to fruition because they don't make any sense. The seeds cannot germinate, they cannot create any future storylines because, like the people in the missiles in his Star Trek movie Into Darkness, it doesn't make any sense. So, in a way, I kind of feel for Rian Johnson because he inherited this Snoke character who J.J. Abrams, I don't care what anybody says, he had no idea what to do with Snoke. If he did, he would have told Rian Johnson where to go with it. Rian was handed Rey, a character who was just dumped on a planet that looks a lot like Tatooine, but for some reason isn't. He gets handed this Luke character who vanished to an island off the southwest coast of Ireland, Skellig Michael. So I think Rian Johnson did what he could with what he had, which is a movie that doesn't really make a lot of sense, and it's just like the First Order. Who are they? Nobody knows. They're basically sprung up from the Empire, apparently, because they're wearing black and their symbol kind of looks like this. But where did they get their money from? Nobody knows. What are their politics? Nobody knows. Are they evil? Nobody really knows. Snoke, is he in charge of them? Well, apparently, but hey, spoiler alert, once the two youngins kill the guy, basically cut him in half and take over, nothing really happens. It's sort of a mess of a movie. A lot of critics, somebody pointed out that Kylo Ren basically goes from point A to point A. At the beginning of the movie, he's reluctant to kill his mom, but by the end, he has no problem with it. The chick, what's her face? What does she do? Swings around a lightsaber on that island a little bit. Has some communications with Kylo Ren. But when she's handed an opportunity to partner with him and, like, sort of create a new order, she doesn't. She could have made a more impassioned plea to get him to stop shooting at the rebel ships, because those folks are not my friends, and her mom is on one of those ships. But she doesn't really do that. Instead, she goes off, and she even, like, disappears for a short period of time in the middle of the movie for no reason. She apparently gets on somebody's ship and escapes. I can't even remember exactly what happens. Luke Skywalker, again, spoiler alert, like, he travels, what do they call it, astrally projects himself into one of the last scenes in the movies, and then because it's too much for him, he passes away and turns into vapor, leaving his robes behind, but not his mechanical hand. So that's all fine, but again, they hit him at the end, looking at the twin setting suns. Well, he's not on Tatooine. Why didn't you just put him on Tatooine and have him do that? If you really want to have the John Williams score and have him looking at the twin setting suns, then do it on Tatooine. Come up with a scene where he actually travels there for some reason on his ancestral homeland, I guess you could call it, out in the desert. But, I know there's a lot of things missed in this movie. There's a lot of things that I didn't like. There's some things that I do like. I do like some of the lines. I do like how Luke Skywalker said twice, amazing how everything you said is, the entire sentence is wrong. He says that twice. I like some of the communication between Kylo Ren and Daisy Ridley's character, Mary Sue. But some of the other things, like her communication with the dark side, where she goes down in the cave and looks at her infinite reflection. It's interesting visually, especially where she snaps her fingers and the snap comes back. But nothing comes of it. The porgs. Why don't you just use real puffins? PBS has a documentary on Ireland's Wild Coast. If you get a chance, watch it, because the guy starts in Skellig Michael, shows all the birds that nest there, including the puffins, which are like short-nosed toucans almost. Infinitely more interesting to look at and beautiful than these stupid porgs. They could just rename the birds for the movie. Then the PBS special, the guy actually goes up the west coast of Ireland. He takes like a year to visit all these spots, and it's amazing. Some of those places in western Ireland look, they're as wide open and empty as Montana. You'd have no idea it was such a small country. But I digest. So some of the other things that bother me about the movie are Admiral Laura Dern's outfit. Why is she wearing an evening dress and dangly earrings when she's supposed to be an admiral? Maybe you wouldn't be getting your ass handed to you by the New World Order, New Galactic Order, whatever it is, if your admirals didn't wear cocktail dresses, okay? If you took your job maybe a little bit more seriously.